So I started trading 5 years ago, and I started with the highest of expectations, and that is where I messed up from the jump. As soon as I was introduced to trading, we were meeting in these high-rise buildings in Dallas, and I was getting taught by a group of people who were about 5 years in the game, like I am now. And my expectations were through the roof. Like I said, first mistake. They showed me a spreadsheet of basically compounding effect of how numbers compound, and that's a big deal in the trading game because numbers do compound when you know what you're doing. But the problem was I didn't know what I was doing, and I assumed that I was going to be making 30 grand in the next year. I literally told my mentor, dude, there's no reason why I shouldn't have 30 grand in my bank account in the next year. But little did I know that the compounding effect only stands true whenever you have a strategy and you stick to it, as well as know what you're doing. So expectations, that's the number one thing that I would say is the biggest demoter in most traders, most beginner traders. I put out a tweet today that said, essentially, I've got to have self-belief, high self-belief, but no expectations. Remain a student of the game for as long as I have to. Remain a student of the game for the duration of my trading career, because we will never be able to solve the markets. The markets are so intricate and they're so volatile. All we can do is continue to compete against ourselves in our minds. I know that stands true in my trading. But something was pretty profound in what, his name was John, the guy that was teaching me at the time. He was a 5-year trader, and one thing that he said that I'm just now starting to realize, or last year I just understood fully, was that he said, if you're 5 years in the game, you're still a baby. He said anything under 5 years, you're a baby. And me being at 5 years right now, I finally understand what he meant, because I was looking at him at the time in 2020, 5 years ago, and I was like, 5 years? How is that a beginner? And after a bunch of trial and error, and after losing a lot of money, making winning trades, losing winning trades, seeing the market fluctuate up and down every day, hit my stop loss, run up as soon as it hits my stop loss, going on tilt, over trading, over leveraging, you name it. After all of that for 5 years, I finally understand what he meant. And what he means is that we have to be forever students of the market, and that it takes time to learn this skill. As I'm sure many of you guys have seen, if you follow any trading psychology, not even just trading psychologists, but just long-time traders, they'll explain and break it down as trading is a career where you can make an endless amount of income. And people would just assume that we can hop in the game and make money, and that's pretty disrespectful, because doctors go to school for 8 years or something like that. Lawyers go to school for college, pre-law, 6 years or something like that, 5 years. And as a successful trader, depending on how much capital you're managing, we are able to make a doctor's salary or a lawyer's salary in a month of trading, if we scale that way, if we scale that high, if we are managing enough capital. And anything with that much upside is not gonna happen easy. It's like going to the NFL or going to the NBA. You've got to put in the time for years. These guys work for a decade, over a decade, in order to make it to where they're making that type of money in the top 1% of earners. So that's a big thing, honestly, that's a big thing. Expectations, false expectations, without even having any work there to back it up. But beyond the false expectations, I'm just really blessed that I started off my life as an athlete, and I quickly found out I wasn't the best athlete, so I had to work harder than other people in order to ensure that I'd make it on the field. I was a football player. I played college football, had a nice career, pretty good career, had fun, but I was very intentional about wanting to make it to the NFL. It was my dream, and I was going hard at it. I was going hard at it, working, injuries. I had a shoulder surgery, 2 knee surgeries, and after every one, I was right back in there. I was right back in there. There was no telling me that I wasn't going to the NFL. There was no telling me that I wasn't going to play. And just going through all that adversity has set me up to be resilient in this trading game. And that's something that you have to have. It's something we have to have as traders. We've got to have thick skin. We've got to be resilient because these markets will chop you up. They've chopped me up so many times. And we've got to be at peace with that and have our eye focus on the goal. But at the same time, as our eyes focus on the goal, we've got to be where our feet are and focus on the day-by-day process. My sister said something pretty profound the other day. My younger sister, she just graduated from college. Shout out Naomi. Just graduated from college, and she's been working out pretty hard for the last month or so, 2 months. And I looked at her, I was like, okay, I see you're looking good. Like, I'm starting to see some changes. And she was like, as corny as it sounds, it's really true when they say you start to fall in love with the process. When you're within that process and you're locked in and you get on a roll, you fall in love with it. You're not just thinking about the end goal. You're just thinking about the process. You're thinking about, dang, like the end goal isn't mine, because you're like, dang, like I'm getting somewhere. But when you start to see those results, it just gets addicting. Like the grind just gets addicting. And I put something on my Snapchat yesterday, or I think it was last night. I was up just thinking about this next trading day, planning out my risk, and I was just like, man, I had a long day of workouts and just training my mind, and I was like, man, it's never gonna be like it is today. Like, I'm gonna miss this grind. I'm gonna miss these beginning stages of the early hustle is what I said. I'm gonna miss the beginning stages of the early hustle because there's nothing like the uncertainty, the prospect of where I'm gonna be down the road, and just imagining the future. You know, with that uncertainty, we're just putting in work without even knowing. It's all about the delayed gratification. And there's some sort of peace that just comes over me within that, because falling in love with this process like this has just geared me up in a way to just take things day by day and just focus on becoming a better trader day by day and becoming a better person. My mom is an entrepreneur, and she's always had the entrepreneurial spirit, and she's passed it on to me. And I'm very blessed to, have her as a mom and to be able to have gotten that entrepreneurial spirit and that self-belief just by being born into my family. But she said something to me in the kitchen the other day, and it just stuck with me. And I think it was a quote by Mike Murdoch, but he says that until you become obsessed with your passion, you'll never make it happen. And that's very, 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 very profound to me, because it's true. Because if you're not obsessed with your passion, then you're just gonna be dragging through it. Oh, I've gotta get to the market. I've gotta see if I can make money today. I don't wanna lose. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I gotta track my trades, which was tough for me in the past. But whenever you fall in love with that process and be obsessed with it, then you take every single day with joy. You take every single day knowing that I'm getting 1% better. I'm getting 1% better, and this day matters. Everything matters. Everything matters. I think Jim Rohn says that, and this is on like a little side note, but everything matters, and that's true about traders as well. Stands true in trading 1,000%, because what we do off the charts will carry over to the charts. And I'm not saying we've got to be just perfect human beings, but we've got to strive in all areas of life to have that J curve increase, because it's like they say, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. So why not trend up in everything? We've got to trend up in everything. But so back to my trading journey. We're in year 5 now. Took a payout our first payout with Top Step, we made 8,000 with them, or about 7.7 grand. And it was just cool because I remember just looking through, scrolling through Twitter years back, Instagram years back, and seeing people getting these payouts when I was trading Forex prop firms. And I would just be like, man, that looks nice. Like, I'm gonna get there one day. I'm gonna get there one day. Even though I was losing and losing and losing, I had that self-belief that I was gonna pull a payout. And after losing $20,000 around for 4 years, I got an 8K payout in 2 weeks of trading. I made 15,000 in 2 weeks of trading, so I almost made everything back. But with Top Step, you've got to have the certain days. I only had 200 plus days, so I could withdraw half of my profits, which was about $7,500, 7.7K. But 2 weeks, and while I've been stressing people, I've been stressing a lot of people to stay down. It's all about staying down. We got to stay down and have that self-belief. Like I said earlier, self-belief, but no expectations. It's all about the day-to-day process. The moment is now. We've got to be alert and realize the moment is now, or else you might miss it. The moment is now. So be alert in that, or else you might miss it. And I got to tell myself that every single day so I can keep this momentum going. I never want to be too high, I never want to be too low. Just want to be here, cruising, hitting it hard, and just getting 1% better each and every day. So I hope you guys could get some value from this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe. If you've got anything, we're going to keep doing my best to provide you guys value and keep you guys in touch with my journey. I've got goals to be a private fund manager, and I know I'll get there. But like I said, high self-belief, no expectations. If I don't get there, it's whatever. I'm becoming a better person. I'm becoming a better trader. And why not chase the dream? Why not? Why not chase the dream? Because what's the alternative? Lose money professionally. Let's go.